Welcome to Cosmic Comics, Games and Collectibles, your zen of geekism. We carry comics old and new, magazines, toys, games like Pokemon, Magic, D&D. Want Godzilla, Ultraman, Star Trek, Ninja Turtles, Funko Pops? You'll find it all here. Shop our Cosmic Sound Room and pick up a record or two. Enjoy our Comic Coffee Lounge with a cup of Sasquatch coffee while geeking out over a super cool movie on our big screen. Cosmic Comic, Games and Collectibles. Superman loves us, and so will you.
Hi everyone, Daphne Lage here. Join Nita Lanning and me on the Ragin' 2 The Vlogs show, where we talk about everything, nothing, and all the bits in between. Looking for hour-long conversations about indie comics, social media marketing, and crowdfunding, with the occasional rant and story time? Head on over to the Ragin' 2 channel on YouTube, Mondays through Fridays at 11 a.m. Eastern to join in the chat.
Hit the button.
Ed Gein, Demon Hunter, on Indiegogo. After a deranged demon escapes the bowels of hell, Satan is forced to send a damned soul back to Earth as a demon hunter. Armed with a sacrificial dagger, Ed returns to his old stomping ground to capture the demon before the universe is destroyed. Ed Gein, Demon Hunter. Issues 1 and 2 available now on Indiegogo. Prepare for the ultimate face-off.
We've crossed paths more than once. I've whispered in your ear, shown you harmless little temptations. I am unknowable, yet you know me intimately. But you can always know me better. Collected here are 20 twisted tales that will thrill, chill, incite, and delight you from some of the most imaginative minds your species has to offer. This exclusive Indiegogo printing of The Devil You Know Better will be limited and numbered, with signatures from Mike Barron and Hart D. Fisher. Stretch goals achieved for this campaign will add interior chapter illustrations by Stefano Cardacelli. The Devil You Know Better. Back it on Indiegogo today, while you still can.
The life of a spy isn't as glamorous as I thought. But it isn't dull.
And good evening. I am RJ Carter, Senior Managing Editor here at CriticalBlast.com. Chief Envelope Liquor for Critical Blast Logistics, Myopic Proofreader for Critical Blast Publishing, and now the launcher of our own Indiegogo campaign for The Devil You Know Better. You saw the ad. There's a link below the video. It's in pre-sign up, and we will launch this coming Monday with the CG UK Bargain Bin guys on 6/6 at 6 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. So people were asking me, when am I going to launch? I looked at the calendar, so let me think. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's when we're going to launch. So looking forward to that. Got some people in the chat already. Darth Bobcat, glad to see you out there and saying welcome to our guest for tonight. Keely Cho, good to see you as well. Woody, always happy to see you in the chat. By crowdfunding law, you say hail at some point. Yes, you do. It's tradition. It's tradition. We're kind of Roman that way. Please welcome with me tonight to our channel to talk about tonight's crowdfunded epic, Mr. Daniel Parker. Daniel, how are you doing, sir?
Doing good. How you doing, RJ?
Well, tell you what.
Oh.
I'm one swallow better than I was a second ago now.
Nice.
So this is a second chance campaign, right? This is because
yes.
We've already successfully got this done before, but
yeah, but we've still got some copies left over, and I know there are some people out there who didn't get a chance to back the campaign the first time around, and this is your chance to get it this time.
So let me ask you this: is there a second issue on the way? Because what some people might do, and what a lot of people do is they save those extra issues and use them as catch-up tiers on the next campaign.
There will be another campaign. There's another book coming out called Guardian Angel, which is the follow-up to Angel's Awakening.
I like it.
And there is going to be a tier on there to get Angel's Awakening, but it's just going to be this cover that they're going to be able to get. So
just the basic one. So,
just the basic one, yeah.
So all those other covers not going to be available. We're going to get rid of them.
Yeah. So these two covers right here, the Virgin cover,
and I love that.
Yeah,
I love that Carla Tornielli cover.
Yeah, I do too. It's really cool. Yeah.
So this is why, folks in the chat, this is why Daniel reached out to me a couple weeks ago and said, "Hey, how many copies do we got left?" And I think the answer now is fewer than when you asked me. I can't remember if you asked me before or after Cosmic Comics placed their order and got them in.
It might have been before.
Might have been. I think it was after though, but I'll double check. We'll get another count.
Yeah,
I'll just check my email. That'll tell me for sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, the link to the Second Chance campaign is below the video. It's the very first line you're going to see, folks. If you went down there to look for the Devil You Know campaign, you're going to have to trip over the link to Daniel's campaign first. It's also pinned to the top of the chat for ease of use. So please do take care of that. Oh yeah, Will Everett. So right? No, I'm just warming him up for you.
Yes.
I'm your fluffer, Will. Okay, it's not sloppy seconds. I'm getting him all warmed up for your show.
Yes.
Really. So let's. I've got your campaign open on my other window here. Like I'm going to run it. I'm going to let you run it. You're the one sharing it.
All right.
So show us what we got going on with this one.
All right. So for those of you unfamiliar with Angel's Awakening, it follows the origins of Jessica Sawyer. She's a spy with the psychic ability of teleportation. And this story is, of course, her first mission where she crosses enemy lines to recover a body in cryogenic stasis. And along the way, she does battle with a water elemental named Sky. And it's 32 pages, lots of great action in there. Obviously beautiful women. It's a story written by me. All the artwork was done by Bogdan Rizea, and of course lettering done by Eric Weathers. And yeah, it's if you followed the first campaign before, as RJ mentioned, I had one before, and it was funded and fulfilled. And so, yeah, and basically it's, like I said, it's the origin story. So you got this, I love this splash page in here. This is actually the first time you see her in her costume. And here she is here. Lots of really great shots of her, as you could probably tell.
And this is a prestige formatted book, folks, with a nice square spine, very very sturdy, very physically well put together. I have had my hands on these books. We did the distribution for we did the fulfillment for the first campaign, so a lot of those copies are the ones we've got here now.
Yeah.
As leftovers, because I encouraged Daniel to overship, because things like this, things like taking care of damaged copies that get damaged by the mail, because I'm learning daily that stuff happens. once it leaves my hands, I can't watch over it all the way there anymore. And
we had had an interesting time getting the books over to Europe. That was a little nerve-wracking, but and I think we only had one order that got lost, and then we had to reship. So yeah, I mean it went pretty smoothly overall. Yeah,
and of course the one that got lost had to be an overseas order, so it was we lose the tracking. I've got ways around that, but I've got to work with. I've got a hub now I might have had it when we shipped with you as well, but I've got a hub in Switzerland that takes care of all of Europe, and I've got a hub in Australia that we bulk ship everything to. I may start working with my hub guys and saying, hey guys, instead of using your post office, especially in Europe, where once it leaves the country, it's still untrackable. If it's going to another European country, might just say, let's use UPS for everything from here on out, just to keep track of everything and not lose it.
Right. Yeah.
We have to see what kind of a cost impact that's going to make.
Yeah. But yeah. So a few things that are new with this campaign that we didn't have on. Well, here I'll go back down. So new perk is this poster here of Jessica.
Look at that.
Yeah.
I like that she's a teleporter, but motorcycle.
Yeah. I love this. This was actually this pose here was going to be a. Thanks, Bobcat. The digital tier, the digital copy is an add-on for all the other physical tiers, and it's only $5. So, the poster, this pose here was I hate to say rejected pose, but it was a pose that might have used for a splash page in Guardian Angel, but I decided to go with a different one, and I thought this one worked really well with this poster here.
I look at the poster and I hear White Snake in my head, so
yeah.
It's got that very much of an MTV hairband video feel about it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I really like it. It's Bogdan really did a great job with it.
And it's big.
It's big, yeah. It's 18 by 24. So it's bigger than this poster here, which was on the original campaign with Jessica in the bikini. This one's 11 by 17.
Yeah. Darth Bobcat has Duran Duran playing when he reads the pages. Is it Girls on Film or The Chauffeur? I have to know. Duran Duran videos, by the way, were the dirtiest things in the 80s. If you got the uncut ones, you had to get them on videotape. They were the first music videos I ever saw that were R-rated. I'm like, what? Can you do that in a music video? Yes, you can.
Yes. Oh wow, yeah, kind of like that one share video that got banned. If I could turn back time.
I didn't know about that one.
Oh yeah. She was on a Navy ship. She was a new. I've never seen it, but apparently it's very risque.
I'm sure it's on YouTube.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it's on.
We can all find it later, not now, guys.
Yeah.
Later.
View to a Kill.
View to a Kill. Yeah, the Bond theme that they did.
Oh yeah. But yeah, like I said, like I mentioned earlier, obviously this is the Virgin cover here, and then the variant cover here, the manga style variant. These are the last chances to get these covers.
When they're gone, they're gone.
And they're gone, yeah. Do you want to mention a couple of stretch goals? So if we get to 1,000, the trading cards that were in the part of the mailing list backers that mailing list backers got. We get to $1,000. Every physical backer will get one of those cards. So, little note: if we get there, just stick the cards in there.
Can do. I know where they are.
Yes, and we get to 2,000. Everyone will get a bookmark of Jessica, and I haven't decided what I'll do if we get to 3,000, but I'm sure I'll think of something.
And the thing about this second chance campaign, folks, is as you deduced from the way we're talking about it, these books are done. These books are ready to ship. So
yes,
there's no worry about how long it's going to take him to finish this thing. It's a fait accompli.
Yep. Yeah, and once the campaign's over, I mean, I'm going to be talking with RJ about getting these books sent out. So
yep, here's the spreadsheet of addresses. Go to town.
Yep. So the featured tier on here is it's the book and the new poster. 35. We've got 4 people who've picked that up so far. Seems to be the most popular tier on this campaign so far. And of course, digital copy. $10, and if you like I said before, it's available as an add-on on the physical tiers. Okay. So and it's only $5.
I remember you said it was $5 add-on if you get a physical tier, and I was going to ask. I was like, well, why not? It's just available by itself, but it is available by itself just for $10 if you're not getting the physical.
Right.
You get a discounted price if you get the physical one.
Yes. And so, now, of course, we got the books individually. Obviously, the main cover here, Virgin cover, variant cover, and then further down below here, there's the combo of both of them. All 3 of those tiers are limited to the first 5. So like we said before, once they're gone, they're gone. And then I've also got a tier where if you want the bikini poster just by itself, you can get that as well. And if you want the poster just by itself, you can get that too.
I'm waiting for people to just start putting up the book just for their campaigns. Like, here's the book. We have all these other things. Buy the book, and it's all add-on. In fact, I saw a brilliant. I had Kara Nicole on last week on my birthday streaming marathon, and I've always promoted the fact that, hey, with add-ons, why don't you just put the book up there, quit worrying about the different tiers, and then make everything else a la carte. And Kara has done this, and she's taken it one step further. She's basically said, hey, here's $10, buy the shipping. There's no book there. You basically just bought the grocery bag. You paid for the $10 shipping. Now go and add on whatever you want to it up to the $10 worth of shipping. And then if you buy more than that, then the shipping goes up accordingly. But it's like, hey, I just want these 2 books. There's no tier that covers that. I don't want to get the book that I've got to get add-ons. I'm just buying a shipping tier. It's a non-physical product tier. It's just $10, and you go in and start throwing in the add-ons.
That's not a bad idea.
It's brilliant.
Yeah.
Hey, Mike Walters, glad to see you, man. You you call it inopportune times today, man. I've not been ducking you. I just like had my hands full. I've been in meetings, so yeah, I'll touch base with you after your show tonight. Mike has a show at 9 p.m. Eastern at the Mike Stand. So if you're not going to follow Daniel over to Creators Outlet, then pop over and get the niche news of the day from Mike Walters.
Yeah,
so many shows to keep track of.
Yes. So, and last but not least, this is probably the only tier from the original campaign, or besides the individual ones, that I kept the same, which is you get the book and the bikini poster. So.
And the posters, folks, will come rolled in a tube. They're slick posters. They're not like Bristol board, right? They're
glossy.
Yeah, they're glossy. Okay, so they roll up into a tube real nice. We have the end cap tubes that we will send out. The tubes will come in a bag with your Gemini mailer, or by themselves if they didn't get a book. So we have all sizes of bags to keep your Gemini mailer and your cardboard tube from soaking up rainwater, because it's too big for the mailbox, so your mail person will just leave it on your doorstep. And we take measures to protect your purchase to the best of our ability.
It's very important, especially like if you live in my part of the world. I'm in Florida, and right now this time of year it does get a little rainy, so
a little bit wet.
A little wet, yeah.
And they, if you have a nice mail person, they'll sometimes tie things up in a plastic bag and leave it on your porch. But if they're getting wet too, they're probably just going to toss it and go. So you are at $260 so far. You've only just kicked it off, really, just a couple days ago.
Yeah.
And this is a $500 flexible goal, because the idea is you're not really trying to reach a funding limit here. 500 is the minimum, I think, that Indiegogo allows. We're just clearing out the old inventory.
Yes.
So
and obviously, and making way for the next book.
So let's talk about the next book a little bit here, because if people get in here on the second chance and they finish reading it, they're going to want to get in on a continuation. So what kind of a timeline are you looking at with that, and what's it going to be about?
So I'm shooting for late July for that campaign, and actually I can bring up the mailing list is live.
Oh, good.
So let me share that here. Do this, and here we go.
And there it is.
There it is. Yeah, Guardian Angel Part 1.
So I like this. This is like not like Angels Awakening number 1, number 2, number 3. This is Angels Awakening the movie, and then second movie Guardian Angel. It's all going to be Angel something, not sequentially numbered, but similarly titled.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. I always call Angels Awakening like sort of like a pilot for a TV show, or like an OVA for an anime, just like a short little, like a teaser for for the greater universe. But Guardian Angel takes place 2 years after Angels Awakening, and it follows Jessica Sawyer, and she teams. And so I got to get into some spoilers with Angels Awakening if I'm going to be talking about this, but fair warning. Jessica Sawyer, she rescued another psychic by the name of Henry Hatcher, and he has the ability of telekinesis, and he gets brought back and becomes the Guardian of the Republic. and they basically have to Jessica and Henry have to work together because there's an elemental hit squad that comes into their country and starts hunting them.
So she's already fought a water elemental in this book.
Yeah.
She's found another psychic. Are supers a normal occurrence in this, or are they like still pretty rare?
They're fairly rare. It's although there are more elementals than there are psychics, and there I get into some of the lore and backstory in both with Angel's Awakening. There are a lot of lore pages in there, and I also get into some of the lore in Guardian Angel 2. But yeah, they it's right now it's just Henry and it's just Jessica who have to go up against these elementals that are coming after them.
Okay, so when we talk about psychics and we talk about elementals, you're making a very linear distinction between the two. Mm-hmm. When I think of elementals, I'm thinking magic, and not like abracadabra, but earth magic and spirits and fairies and stuff.
Right.
Is that what you've got going on with these elementals?
I always say that they're like oh, hey, Serena, good to see you. I always I call them forces of nature.
Okay.
They're born that way, and how they get their powers is kind of a mystery. And same with psychics. And for many years, elementals and psychics had been locked in a bitter conflict outside of the view of us normal humans, and until eventually it does kind of go one way, and so that leads to the creation of the Britannian Empire, which is who are the big baddies in the series, and the Free Republic of America, who are the good guys. And it's then the Free Republic of America is Texas.
Okay, so America got a lot smaller. I mean,
yes.
Texas is still big, but
yeah, exactly.
Okay. Yeah. And this is, you said, I think 100 years in the future?
Yeah, 100 years. Yeah, it's 2119, I believe. Yeah, 2119 is when Guardian Angel takes place.
How do you project the technology of the future 100 years out? Because we look 100 years back. Shoot, I look 40 years back, and it was an archaic world. But it's like 100 years ago from now to today, we were supposed to have our flying cars by today. I was promised flying cars when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Is that the kind of world that you have 100 years from now, or do you have it a little more grounded still?
It's I try to find a happy medium between the two. One of the things, there's robotics and there's cyborgs or in cybernetics, which I know we're kind of toying with right now, but I know we're still a long ways from that.
Ask Bionic Bra about that. He's all over that.
But I would imagine, 100 years from now, we're going to have it. Not inconceivable that there would be cybernetics of kind of like along those lines, and definitely robotics. I will say there are no flying cars, but there are there's mass transit is a lot better, and buildings on top of buildings, and it's very cyberpunk like in this future world.
Oh yeah, that was one of the most striking visuals of all the CGI that they threw into Ready Player One. Mm-hmm. The most striking visual to me was the fact that they're stacking trailers on top of each other and making skyscrapers out of mobile homes. That was Yeah, they'll probably do that eventually. You just need the girder system as a support structure, and here's your fire escape, and good luck.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Darth Bobcat wants flying cars. I'll settle. I don't even need a flying car because licensing and all that. I'd settle for a one-man gyrocopter. Just here's my joysticks and I've got it laid up above my head. Just aim it. Yeah, I'd be happy with that.
Oh yeah.
I'd be superheroing if I had that.
Oh yeah. Give me my jetpack. A jetpack that actually works.
Yeah, that doesn't set your butt on fire with the rocket fuel.
Yeah.
So she's a spy, but she's a super powered spy. Isn't that kind of flashy for spy work? I mean, you're supposed to be kind of unnoticed.
Well, a little bit, yeah. But she, one of the things like with her teleporting is she's able to sneak into buildings and stuff. And
she'd be a great talent for it, sure.
Yeah, and she could sneak around and all that sort of thing. Before she became a spy, though, she was a thief. So she's very good at sneaking into buildings and places where she's not supposed to go.
Was she always? Well, she's psychic, so I'm guessing she was born with this ability. But maybe not. Okay,
maybe not. Yeah.
But she acquired that ability somehow, somewhere, and we see that in the first book.
Yes. Yeah. It's you get there's a little bit of her backstory in there in the first few pages, and it's also where you meet Laura Stone, who's a billionaire tech mogul. Which I kind of she's kind of a cross between like I sometimes say she's like the Tony Stark of this universe. But she's a little part Tony Stark, part maybe a little bit of Elon Musk. But I based her likeness off of Sharon Stone, from Basic Instinct. Although she's not going to stab anybody with an ice pick.
So who does she spy for then? Is she like a corporate spy or a government spy?
A little bit of, well, I would say probably more government than corporate. Although the corporate part of this world does bleed in quite a bit into the government part,
as it does today. So
yes, yeah. It's the Republic isn't too dissimilar from way the.
I just click things. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't offer comment.
Yeah.
That was probably the most frustratingly pause. No, rewind. The pause.
Yes.
You missed it. Pause. Yeah, that's how that movie got watched and worn out in that spot on all those VHS tapes.
Yeah. I would imagine. A lot of people renting it at Blockbuster and plopping that video and oh, geez. But actually, real quick, Darth Bobcat is actually my co-host on our weekly podcast, Critique Corner, which is on my YouTube channel. So that's how we know each other.
Very cool.
Yeah. But anyway, the Republic is very similar to how America is now, only not. I would say a little more libertarian bent than with the way we are now. Probably closer to the way America was when it was first founded.
Leave us all alone. Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
You mentioned you had a podcast. What do you guys cover on your podcast?
Mostly pop culture stuff. We try to find interesting news topics, and we'll get into sometimes talk about box office numbers, and then talk about different like movie stuff, TV, that kind of thing. And we also at the beginning of each show we have what's called our thing of the week, and we talk about like something that we've watched or something that we've read during the week, and occasionally we will have again, although actually this is the second time we'll have a guest on this week to plug their book, their crowdfunding campaign. Serena was actually on with us a couple of weeks ago, and then tomorrow night we're gonna have Edwin Aces on to talk about his book, The Ace.
Oh yeah, it's the second book of that
Second
series,
one,
I believe.
Yeah.
And Miss Rena is killing it with her campaign.
Yeah,
Her first
she is.
campaign. That's the ladies in crowdfunded comics are just really coming through. I mean, between Miss Rena and Mandy Summers has put out a number of titles, and Irene Strakowski is just rising like a rocket to the top of this industry. The guys are going to have their work cut out for them keeping up with. It's
nothing wrong with healthy competition. I will say that.
Absolutely. Yeah. So are you and Darth Bobcat making notes all this week for the next show to talk about the Johnny Depp Amber Heard verdict that came out today?
Well, we've actually stayed away from that. We haven't really talked about it at length or really that much, just because we've said there are other channels on YouTube that are covering it, much more in depth, and so we're just okay.
I think everybody was kind of staying away from it because, for one thing, it was just so long and drawn out. We're all kind of waiting. Tell us how it ends, and then we'll say something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So that was but that was an exhausting because when you knew the trial was coming to an end today, that the jury was coming out, it's like, oh, thank God it's over.
Yeah. One way or another, it was over. Yeah.
Yes. I don't care if they riot in the streets after this. Just please stop.
Yeah.
I took the campaign down on my side, so now I've lost oversight to things. But when are you looking to ship these books out? Because there's not a big gap between end of campaign and shipping because they're done.
Yeah. Right. Mainly, the only thing I think that will probably need to be printed are the new posters. I'm getting test prints of those coming hopefully within the next week or so, and if they look good, I'm just going to go ahead and order a bunch of them, and then I would say like not long after the campaign ends we'll go right into fulfillment. So I would say maybe a week or 2 weeks at most. Yeah.
Very cool. It's getting to the point now, Daniel, where I've gone from I'm fulfilling this campaign this week. 2 weeks later, I'm fulfilling this campaign. Now we're at this week I have this campaign, and this campaign that I've got to get out the door, so that I have room in the place to make room for this campaign. They're coming in pretty regularly now. Thank you everybody for your business. I take that as a sign that I must be doing something right if everybody keeps coming back and telling their friends about it. So
yes, I'm very pleased with the service. Yeah, it's very good.
I'm glad to serve. As Tommy Lee Jones told Sissy Spacek in Coal Miner's Daughter, I think I found something you know how to do. So you're going to have a secret tier on this campaign. Can you spill the secret, or is it just going to be?
The secret is there will be an alternate virgin cover of the book that people will be able to buy.
Okay, so virgin cover being the same cover, just without the titling.
Right. Yeah, and that's only if you're on the mailing list, and also yes, and if you're part of the first 100, so the first 50, I should say the first 50 that signed up got this print here, and the next 50 are going to get a different print that's similar to this one.
Okay, that's cool. Prints are something that I've seen people start using more commonly of late as cross promotion material. So rather than hey, let's do a comic book where my character and your character team up, they're doing it. We're like, well, why don't we just have a print drawn up of my character and your character doing something? And then for people who back both campaigns, they'll get this poster.
Yeah, I've seen that too. Yeah. There are a couple of campaigns. Yeah, where that seems to have worked for them. Yeah.
Yeah, the Embrace did it with Perfect 10, and just this week, Carl Kiesel's Impossible Jones book and Damsel from Distress, which, just like Embrace and Perfect 10 was a US-UK collaboration. So not only did you have to get 2 books, but you had to commit to international shipping on something to get that special print.
Yeah. But yeah, and also too, there will be prints that I'm gonna have for sale with the campaign, along with posters and a calendar. I'm gonna do a calendar for this. I wanted to do a calendar with Angels Awakening, but we kind of ran out of time to get anything together with that. But we're gonna do one with Guardian Angel.
So with Guardian Angel, are they going to be panels from the book, or are you going to have like 12 different prints by 12 different artists? What's the game plan?
I'll probably have Bogdan do 12 different prints, and it's going to have it'll be the ladies of Guardian Angel. So it'll have Jessica, it'll have Laura Stone, and then the 2 elementals. So one of them is Sky, the water elemental from Angels Awakening, who, slight spoiler, she's in Guardian Angel, and a new character, fire elemental named Marion.
I was just thinking about the irony of a water elemental named Sky. Does she have a sister who's an air elemental named Rain? Because that was just kind of.
I do kind of make a little bit of a reference to that, not in this book, but in a future book. I will say part 2 of Guardian Angel has I finished the script on that. So once Guardian Angel's done, I mean, part 1's done with the printing and fulfilling and everything. We're going to go right to part 2.
Fantastic. Yeah, keep it rolling. Keep the intervals between issues at a minimum, so you don't hit what Mike Tierney refers to as the expiration of expectations.
Yes.
Yeah, which is hard to do in crowdfunding, and it was one of the things I asked Carl Kiesel about Monday, because I'm like, you've been in the industry where you had to turn in a story every month, and an artist had to ink a book every month. I was like, why is it that a writer can't write a book every month and an artist draw a book every month, when you don't have an editor saying, hey, the deadline is this month? And, a lot of it is that, you're taking over all the other duties. And some of it is that, you're at home,
Yeah. It's there is definitely a lot of self-motivation that's needed. And
of course, the largest part's the money. You turn it in, the company's paying for the printing and everything else. You've got to come up with the money for the printing and everything else. So that takes time as a crowdfunder.
Right. Yeah. And obviously, having paper shortages and printing issues doesn't help.
No, it doesn't. The paper shortage, I finally figured out what it was. I'm like, for the longest time, I was like, it was COVID. It didn't impact trees. We've still got trees.
Yeah.
But most of the paper production companies for the printers were mom and pop businesses. And COVID took them out. They couldn't keep their staff in. Everyone was made to stay home. They couldn't afford it. And now you got all these little abandoned paper places. If you want a job making paper, I guess there's probably one you can buy somewhere nearby and get back in.
Yeah. It's that's an industry that I thought it was dying, but I don't know, maybe not.
Yeah, I mean, for as much as the paperless society was supposed to happen in the 80s, late 80s, early 90s, everyone said, hey, yeah, paper's going to change. All these computers are going to change the way you handle paper. And I'm like, for years, the only way the computer handled the way paper changed was it put little holes down the side of it.
Yeah.
For them. And if you are wondering what RJ's talking about, little holes down the side of your paper, you are way too young, honey. You have no idea what I'm talking about. Yeah. Like, holes in paper. Why would they do that? Don't even get me started about the green stripes they would put on it.
Oh,
yeah. I used to have I had roommates in college. We rented apartments, and it was a computer college. It was DeVry Institute, so truck driver, DeVry School for Truck Driver kind of thing.
Yeah.
But we had the big ASCII printout of Spock with the the live long and prosper thing, printed out in ASCII characters on green bar, and it was like 8 foot wide by another 8 foot tall. We had this one wall that was dedicated to taping the pages together. So, it's coming together. I can see it if I stand back here and squint. Those were the days, folks.
Yeah, the good old days.
We didn't even have the internet yet. We were just having fun with computers. Well, I've been going on an 80s nostalgic kick because Stranger Things season 4 is out. And everyone's talking about it. I'm like, well, I suppose I better watch Stranger Things 1, 2, and 3 since I hadn't. Yeah. And so the last week and a half, I've been just binging the whole thing straight through like one big movie. And just looking at, look, the Dungeons and Dragons game. Yep. Been there. Oh, look at those, computer menus. Yeah. That's how they looked. VHS tapes. Oh boy. And I was the same age as these kids as they were then. So it was really, I can anchor myself in that show, I guess.
Yeah.
So what more can we do to get people to pick up this second chance that they've got here at this book?
So what they can do, obviously,
click the link, throw money.
Yes, yeah. If you got the money to spend, pick up a copy. And if you've already picked up a copy, I will say, if you've picked up a copy already, and you don't want to buy another one, pick up this poster.
Yeah. Oh, well, or you can buy the poster.
Or I can buy it. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's a
18 by 24. That sounds small in my head, but then I get one and I'm like, where am I going to put this thing?
It's a good size poster. Yeah, it's I mean, all I can say is, like we've been saying, I mean, the book's finished. It's ready to go. And I can vouch for the quality of the book, and as well, and RJ can too. And it's, I don't normally like to toot my own horn, but I think I wrote a really great story, and great characters. Bogdan just really killed it with the art, and of course, Eric Weathers' lettering. I mean, you can't get any better than that.
He's the busiest letterer in all of crowdfunding.
Yes.
He's on everything. Who was your printer on this one? I'm not recalling.
It was Mixam.
Okay. I knew when it came in, but I'd forgotten since then. I've got so many boxes around now from different printers.
Yeah.
Mixam did a really good job on this with the colors really pop. The book doesn't have any dents or any dings in it. Darth Bobcat is telling us that we have a shake and bake moment going on here.
Oh, yeah.
Says that there isn't that. So if you want to refresh your screen.
All right. Yeah.
There it is. Have you seen our shake and bake moment, Daniel?
I have not. No.
It goes a little something like this.
It's shake and bake, and I help.
So somebody in the chat got in there and helped. That's the rule. If it goes up during our show, we claim the credit for it.
All right.
It could have been somebody from just browsing Indiegogo. Doesn't matter. During our show,
Yeah, sure.
we're claiming credit. So excellent. That's one more person who's going to get to get started on this series.
Yeah,
and I've noticed the formula is successful campaign, successful fulfillment, bigger numbers on second book. They just tend to grow. The longer you keep fulfilling promises, the more people come back and tell other people about it.
I'm definitely looking forward to keep doing this long term, and definitely there are a lot of stories to tell in this universe. A lot of stories for Jessica, a lot of stories for Henry Hatcher. I've been working on this universe for 12, 13 years. And especially Henry, I've been working on him for a long time. He's my guy. And obviously, and Jessica's obviously my girl. So, there are going to be many adventures with those two.
Well, good to hear. All right. Well, Daniel, it is 10 to the top of the hour here, 9 to the top of the hour now. So I'm going to just let you release so that you can head over to Creators Outlet and do this all over again with Will.
All right.
Thank you for coming on our show tonight and going over the Second Chance campaign and giving us a sneak peek at the Guardian Angel book that will be coming thereafter.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much for having me on. Appreciate it. And I'll be talking to you again, in the future.
All right. Glad to. And I did do a little check while you were talking. And if you have a limited quantity on these things based on any numbers I gave you, your basic Angels Awakening #1, the standard cover, subtract 5 from that number I gave you, because that's how many went to Cosmic Comics and Belleville. Yes, we put crowdfunded comics on a shelf, guys, which has always been the goal.
Yeah.
So with that, folks in the chat, thank you so much for being here tonight. We appreciate you showing up. We don't have a show if you're not here to watch it. And as always, while you were here, we just hope you had a blast. Good night.